Before we get started tonight, ladies and gentlemen, on the episode here on Fast Break on IE Sports Radio, I want to introduce y'all to a couple of our sponsors. First, the Southern California Warriors semi-pro football team. The world of semi-pro sports is unlike any other sports organizations. Players pay to play in hopes of so many different outcomes, whether it's playing to get filmed to try out for professional teams, big-time colleges, or just playing to stay in shape. No matter what, all semi-pro players have one thing in common, and that's playing for the love of the game. The SoCal Warriors have been on the quest to earn titles to give players second chances since 2017. Wherever you're in Southern California or anywhere in the world, give semi-pro sports a chance if you love your sport. You may get that second chance you've been waiting for. You can find them on social media at Twitter at SoCal Warriors, on Instagram, Southern California _Warriors, and on Facebook, Southern California Warriors. Background Check International. Are you looking to background check a new hire on? Let Kit Freeman take care of that for you. Kit, founded as managed Background Check International since 1994. And he's there to help you with the screening process. Contact Kit and let him make the hiring process that much easier. This easy for you. This business is used for professional background checks and not used to any crimes such as illegal theft or illegal activity. You can find us on social media at Facebook at Background Check International, BCI, or also on the website, bcint.com. Now on to the show. Well, first we're going to discuss the All-Star Weekend, all that stuff and all that. But lucky for us, college basketball dropped us a gem with Juwan Howard antics after the game against Wisconsin. We'll discuss that. Plus, we'll discuss All-Star Weekend and kind of like a chore to kind of get through the weekend, to be honest with you. So we'll discuss that. Plus, all of the scores in college hoops and the NBA throughout the week. And we'll discuss that and much more here on Fast Break Live on IE Sports Radio. You're direct feed for all the sports, and you're welcome to join us. Join us as you shall tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This is Davidson here. I'm riding solo tonight because D-Log is preparing for a track meet down in Birmingham, Alabama. Not too far from me. Well, about like an hour or so, but you get my point. So he is prepping for a track meet that they are doing for tomorrow, all day tomorrow in Birmingham for his team, the Georgia State Panthers. Excuse me. So that is why D-Lock will not be on the show tonight. And we'll have Mr. Locke back on next week. But good luck to Mr. Locke and the ladies for Georgia State. Actually, all of them in Georgia State, actually. All the track athletes in Georgia State. Track and field athletes. Now, with that being said, lots of news and stuff has been coming out today. A lot of things have been happening throughout the week since we last here. Because we took off for the Super Bowl. Because let's be real, who's going to be listening to basketball when the biggest game on earth is playing in y'all's living room? So, before we get rolling, I don't know which way to go. You got All-Star Weekend in the fold right now. That was kind of like a chore. I thought about leading off with that first. But then, Michigan, Wisconsin happened. And Michigan, Wisconsin, The aftermath was great. Now, why I say great? Because let's be honest with y'all, and some of y'all in the chat as well. Shout out to Terry Rodriguez. Shout out to Adam Carnick in the chat. I'll get to your question here in a second, Adam. College basketball, if we're being honest with you, I think people follow it, but it don't follow like they used to. I think, with the past 10 years, for this go that far, there's like a lot of moving parts. Coaches leaving, players transferring, all that stuff. You can barely keep up with high school recruiting classes in a sense because all these kids transfer to different high schools. You can't keep up with kids and all that stuff. Some of y'all know I live in North Alabama. A lot of kids in this area here kind of moved around, and it's kind of hard to keep up with them, where they go and stuff like that. Like, it's only, like, dang, you just here retiring at season. Got Coach K retiring at season's end. Roy Williams retires and Herbert Davis at the fold. You got new coaches at Texas Tech, Texas, and Arizona. What can they do with those squads? Gonzaga got a nice recruiting class coming in. All that sort of. All that stuff. Just, using those things as an example. You fast forward to today's game. And when I talk about, college basketball kind of comatose and stuff like that, Michigan and Wisconsin played today. Now, Michigan, they had a great run last year. They made the Elite Eight. They fell short. Who they lose to? I can't remember at the top of my head right now. But they came short, reaching the Final Four. Juwan Howard had an excellent year that last year. Did great. Got an extension, all that stuff out of it. Did a great job. But going to the season, I think their expectations were kind of the same. Go deep into the tournament, possibly reach the Final Four. You got the squad to do it. And it hasn't really been the best. They started the season 2-1, 3-1 at one point. And then you had losses to teams like Seton Hall. And then you get beat down by Arizona early this season, who I think is kind of like one of those teams you really don't want to play come tournament time. And it's kind of been a really down year for Michigan. Losing the double digits to North Carolina, who really hasn't looked hot in conference play. Y'all get where I'm going. So it really ain't been. It's been like up and down for Juwan Howard in Michigan. Like early in the month, they lose to 6 by Purdue. Barely beat Penn State, who's never been a basketball power ever, at least not even average. Then turn around and beat Purdue by double digits. You get to this game here. It's a game if you're Michigan, you got to have. Not just, for Big Ten tournament purposes and seeding, but kind of like if you still have aspirations to make the NCAA tournament, this is a good feather in your cap, in a sense. And, Michigan kind of, lost the game. Johnny Davis, he had a great game, 25 points, 6 rebounds. Chucky Hepburn, freshman, at 10 points, 4 assists for, Wisconsin to lead him in that department. So, a lot of that you really can't afford right now. And it's kind of look at Michigan's schedule. If they kind of, won that game, you had a good Rutgers team and Illinois coming down the pike. And that's probably like two quality wins you could build on your resume if you have to win today. But it was kind of towards late in the game that, Michigan is still trying to, be in the game, whatever, trying to cut the deficit, all that good stuff. Wisconsin had their backups in that point. And, coach took a timeout. Garb took a timeout. Trying to coach up his players. All that good stuff. And I guess Howard didn't take it good like that. Howard thought the game was out of reach, even though he's still pressing. I don't know. It's a little. I don't know. It's kind of tricky because I've been in Howard's position before. I coached basketball myself, and granted, the kids I coach are not like the caliber D1 athletes that are like at Michigan, Wisconsin. My thing is, you try and get back, you try and cut the deficit, you try and make the box score look a little less pleasing, more pleasing to your eyes, and maybe build confidence, come next game. So, I get the aspect, but then on the flip side, if the game's out of reach, you're down double digits, like under 20 seconds left, then what's the point? I mean, no, I know crazy things that happen in sports like that, but sometimes you just gotta okay, take what you did bad, go back, focus on the next game. But this is when the aftermath comes in, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know how in basketball, like high school and college mainly, they line up, shake hands, all that stuff, and go about the business. Well, Mr. Howard wasn't in the line initially because, in college, the coaches kind of lead out first. So, when he's not initially in the line, people saying he was still kind of mad about the timeout they took and all that stuff. And, when Howard eventually joined the line, Coach Garb kind of grabbed him, trying to talk to him, whatever. Some people say that he shouldn't grab Howard like that. Don't put your hands on me, stuff like that. Howard still kind of heated. And then some words were exchanged. And that's when you got the crowd, got the crowd gathering up, all that stuff. And then some assistant for Wisconsin must say something crazy to Juwan. And, Juwan's from those streets. Now, I'm just saying, this took upon himself and pimp slapped the dude. Now, so Juwan did that in his position at his alma mater, all that good stuff. Nah, let's be real. Nah. It ain't a good look. And I say this as a black male, that microscope on you is a little bit more close up than, your white counterparts in a sense. Let's be real about that. So optics of it, Howard, you gotta think twice about that. Bob Knight got away with it because, I think Bob Knight was the main man, but after a while, the antics got kind of old. So, did Juwan should have made better judgment? Yeah. Now, we don't know what the dude said to Juwan to kind of get pimp slapped like that, but, if he said something crazy in that heat in the moment, you got to stay ready. And that coach wasn't staying ready, he got popped side of the head. Don't blame him at all if he says something crazy to Juwan. And going to the chat real quick before I move forward with my comments. Terrence said, Juwan Howard's a fool for what he did. By the way, one of my games just ended. I think it got called early because the coaches and the players were getting mad at the refs. Not sure though. And let me speak to that real quick. Hey, it's real interesting you brought that up, Taryn. Here in North Alabama, a 7A school by the name of Austin High School. They recently let go of their coach this past weekend. Now this coach, since he's taken the helm since 2019, has had a 500 record with them. I thought he's a pretty solid coach, and all that stuff, and all that jazz. But that second sentence, or the third sentence you put in, Taryn, maybe thought about this. He got let go, relieved of his duties, and then another basketball, kind of like an AU, kind of like training thing, whatever, basketball AU group team here in North Alabama. They posted a kind of like a cryptic post saying, "It's a shame that assistant coaches and parents kind of undermine the coach from doing his job." And I thought that was very telling. And then, just kind of do more digging and stuff like that. I mean, I eventually read their article, what happened with them. They went in a different direction, all that good stuff. And then, I read another thing on Facebook saying, like, it seemed like one of the parents or wherever, support or whatever, saying that he got rid of, that thank God he's gone. He was killing the program, wherever that means. And this blah blah coach should have been a coach all along. And stuff like that, Taryn, I think for me, I think it's like, you gotta let the coach. You can't undermine them. If you think you can do a better job, get your teaching degree, whatever, or however your state does this thing of teaching and coaching and stuff like that. Get their education degree and apply for the damn job yourself, or whatever. If you don't think your AAU coach ain't doing you right, or 7-7 coach ain't doing you right, do your own thing. I know a lot of people don't have a lot of means and stuff to do a lot of things, but sometimes some folks ain't equipped to do everything. Some folks ain't equipped to do stuff. They haul from the sidelines. And if you put them in the pressure cooker, they most of the time they sink. And folks like that, Taryn, I kind of don't like, because, I mean, yeah, some refs are real crap. We'll be real about that. But in the end of the day, they still human. They do their job, and not really you can do about it. Sorry I got sidetracked right there, but it's got me thinking about that. But still had basketball discussion in it, and we'll see what happened in that job here in 7A basketball here in Alabama. Adam saying Howard was a fool. Yeah, in the heat of the moment, yeah, he had to be wiser than that. But then again, we don't know what the assistant said to Howard again, pimp slap like that. And then Adam said, "Is Michigan still dancing? It feels like the Wolverines are a French team right now." Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it's real tough where this Michigan team is at. They kind of on that fringe boat with several other teams. Alabama, for example, had a big lead against Kentucky, and then until Calipari moaning and crying, and then the tide to turn. No pun intended. Florida, they're kind of that French team is a French team as well. I think beating Auburn may give them a nice needed boost, and nice needed boost for Mike White down in Florida too, because it really hasn't been peaches and cream for him down there in Gainesville. And shout out to the chat to one Marcus Los. Great. How you doing tonight, sir? Just talking about Juwan Howard pips up in the assistant coach for Wisconsin. Back to Adam's question, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Michigan. They play Rutgers next. Juwan Howard won't be on the sideline. And then they got Illinois afterwards. It's really hard to say. And then 3 games after that, Michigan State, Iowa, and Ohio State. All those games I just listed right there, ladies and gentlemen, all those could be L's if we're being real about that. Rutgers is the team that you really don't want to see. They're real sneaky good. You don't want to see Illinois. Michigan State, they kind of up and down as well, but not as bad as Michigan. Iowa, pretty good as well. Even, despite losing Luke Garza, they still been very competitive. Ohio State, very tough defensive team. So, it can go a lot of ways for Juwan Howard. We don't know what the Big Ten is going to do about all this. How many games he's going to lose. He's going to be suspended for. It's not a good look right now for Juwan Howard in Michigan. Especially after the year they have and having the season they have. It's not a good look right now. Mark is saying in the chat, if Howard gets fired, can we say he got tricked out of his position? Marcus, I really don't know. Because I don't have his contract in front of me and what his buyout will be. I think he signed like a somewhat like extension after last season, if I remember correctly, or maybe somewhere around there. I think he signed an extension. And plus the recruiting class he had just got, and just bringing in and stuff like that. I don't know. Now, could they fire him from calls or something like that? Tough to say. Very, very, very tough to say. Now, should he be fired? I don't think so. I don't think so. Could he? If Michigan got somebody else lined up, or they think they can get somebody, and the only person I'll be honest with y'all, I hate to do early assumptions like this, but the person at the top of that list who I can see Michigan going after, now maybe he won't take this Michigan job, and maybe wait till the other one opens up. I'm talking about Tom Izzo. But one guy, if Howard does get fired, if he does, I'm not saying he will, because I think that buyout will be too much, is one Nate Oates out of Alabama. As some of y'all know, I'm an Alabama fan through and through. And the thing with Nate Oates being in Alabama, it's been a little mixed bag. I love the offensive production and stuff like that and all that good stuff. But in the same token, it's like you want to shoot threes and dribble drive like all that, but you really don't got the players to do it. And, they got the players to do it, but I think some of their guys strength ain't shooting like that. But, you know, basketball terms, you know, it's kind of like you got to find some other keys in the cog, you know, to keep the game going. But anyways, I think Nate Oates, who's from a native of Michigan, around that Detroit area, I think that's one person you got to keep an eye on. Y'all, some of y'all don't, you know, some of y'all know Alabama's not, you know, a basketball school in a sense. I mean, it has great basketball program, but it ain't feel like a basketball school. I think it's something were to happen to Howard. I think, you know, can you entice a Nate Oates to come back up to Michigan? Back to his home, back where he's from. You know, to be that guy up there, it could be a tough sell. Sometimes you can't go back home, as you see in things at times. But if Nate Oates don't go for the job, if something does happen to Howard, then look out for him. Just giving our prediction here. And we can come back to this later on down the future. Look out for him to kind of push his way for that Michigan State job. Because Nate Oates was kind of like more of a Tom Izzo guy coming through when he was like a high school coach in Michigan. And he's kind of studied under Tom Izzo and stuff like that. Look out for that one down the line here, ladies and gentlemen. So wherever Tom Izzo retires, look out for the name Nate Oates tied for that job. Just put it out there right now. But anyways, kind of put a bow on this. Adam saying in the chat, I agree that Howard shouldn't automatically get fired. I'll be fine with suspension through the Big Ten tournament. We'll see. We'll see about that. The Big Ten, I'm looking right now, they really haven't said anything about it. You know, it'd be nice to talk about the situation if you don't have to bring race and stuff in it, but, you know, everything's racial now every day by every subject. So, you know, seeing some comments and stuff like that. You know, some people brought up the Woody Hayes situation. You know, former Ohio State football coach. You know, him punching a Clemson player all those years back. And he was basically damn gone for college sports. I don't know. I don't think my prediction, and I think next week when D-Log's back on here, I think I like to ask him about this because, you know, he coaches college athletics right now. And I don't know, you know, and he has had a relationship with coaches and stuff like that. So I'd like to have his take as a former D1 athlete. What you think that would happen in that situation? But my bold prediction, I think, like Adam said, he'll get suspended. For how long, I don't know. But he'll get suspended without pay, of course. And I think since his buyout is so high, I think he'll still be the coach. But this little incident and the way Michigan season has gone, I think that's kind of, you know, created, you know, a little escape hatch for the Michigan boosters to maybe get him out down the line. Whew, spent about 30 minutes on that. So, to transition to our NBA All-Star Weekend. Lots of news and stuff come out All-Star Weekend. Chris Paul won't play in the game due to an injury to his hand. So he's going to be out for the All-Star game, plus out for the Suns for the next 4 to 6 weeks, which ain't really a good thing for them if they want home home court advantage throughout the playoffs. Not only for the Western Conference, but for, the finals, if they reach that again. So that ain't good for Phoenix. So we'll see how that holds up for them. What do y'all think? What y'all expectations of the All-Star game tonight? Do the Team Durant win? Do Team LeBron win? Who y'all think is going to have a breakout game today? The games are playing in Cleveland. Do Jared Allen and Darius Garland show up and show out? Show, the world, hey, we are playing for the Cavs. We're not a flash in the pan. What's up? Did LeBron win MVP in his home, former, team's arena? He's from Akron, but you know how some folks, he treat Cleveland like home, all that crap. But I getting that. Does LeBron try to win MVP? Do we see something else? DeMar DeRozan. I like, once I'm in DeMar, Adam brought that up. DeMar Zach. The one of those guys kind of show up, take the highlight. Giannis, he really don't lay down at all. So he kind of went trying to shoot for MVP. Luka. What about him? Can he show out tonight? So lots of possibilities here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. In the All-Star game. But let's go back. I gotta get this out the way first. That dunk contest, let me see if y'all agree this in the chat or not. That dunk contest was like a chore to get through. It was a chore. I was like, the names weren't appetizing. I picked Obi Toppin to win, but that's not really saying much. The other names, Jalen Green, Cole Anthony, Juan for the Warriors. I agree with you, Marcus. It was trash. I damn near fell asleep with my damn, Chick-fil-A milkshake in my hand. I almost fell asleep. But that dunk contest is a chore to get through. And I don't know, not to say get rid of the dunk contest, but you probably had to shake things up. And one thing about the dunk contest that kind of really, really kind of killed it. If Cole Anthony knew he was going first in that damn contest, he maybe should have put the damn Timbs on from the jump or had them on already. That's one thing that kind of helped, that kind of killed the mood. Cole Anthony kind of taking forever to get his props and stuff together and crap all that together. That really kind of like brought it down. Like, damn, dude, you really take all day to really put some Timbs on. And then, he brought his daddy out there. His daddy, like he dressed about to go wash his car on a Saturday afternoon. Taking forever. And then Jalen Green, he took forever in that one dunk attempt with the phone, whatever. It's just like everybody just took forever to get something going. And I think that's what killed the mood. And you talk about these guys let's be honest, maybe more athletic than guys maybe 20 years ago. In terms of jumping ability, athletic ability, all that stuff. But it's just like, God, dog, y'all can't just get to it. It was a chore to get through. And, side note, DJ Khaled, if you ever listen to this, I don't think if somebody pursuing a career in entertainment would. I'm not saying they have no aspirations playing NBA, performing at the halftime at All Star Weekend, but dude, nobody's sitting there hating on you, trying to bring you down from performing for the NBA halftime show. Dude, this is like, shut up. I know, don't like you a lot. I had to get it out of my chest. But anyways, what do y'all propose that the NBA should do with the dunk contest? Do you keep it last? Do you move it in the middle and have the 3-point contest to close the show? Kind of change it up a little bit. And maybe if you change it up a little bit that way, maybe you get these guys to kind of, rush through their stuff. Get that thing, get things moving forward. It's taking all day. Stuff like that, and have the 3-point contest last. Because the 3-point contest, pretty good, pretty solid. Carl Anthony Towns winning. Sam Perkins Jr., he won it. Very surprising for some of the names. I thought Luke Kennard was very hot. I thought he was going to win it, but I think Carl Anthony Towns just shot it, just well enough to kind of seal the deal for himself. So, great job to him. Marcus saying in the chat, we need a bonus to add dunkers. It's so funny though. The NBA used to have like 8 dunkers back in the day during the contest. The Vince Carter year, they had like about 6 dunkers or so, 6 to 8 dunkers, something like that. I know for I guess nowadays, for TV and time like stuff like that, they cut that stuff down to 4. But was these the best dunkers you can get? I would love to see John Morant in it. Maybe Jalen Green from the Celtics. Who else I'm thinking about? Oh man, I'm trying to think. Who else has been good names? Really can't think right now. Top of my head. Pat Connaughton, he can jump. He could jump. He got very good versatile. Gary Payton Jr., yeah. Marcus, yeah. Gary Payton Jr. the third. Andrew Wiggins, his teammate. That been a good choice as well. Ask Anthony Simons to come back. Something. That's really about it. That's really about it for what I can think of. But y'all get my point. What they do about the dunk contest, I really don't know. I think you just kind of switch up the placement of it. And as those guys don't take forever and all that stuff. Had a 3-point contest last. And all that good stuff. So, I don't know. It's a real tough thing. It was, like I said, it was like a chore to get through, to watch. But, with all that being said, we're here to Sunday. The All-Star game should be legit. It should be fun to watch. I kind of interested, watching guys like John Morant, Jarrett Allen, Darius Garland, the young guys, see how they perform in the game. It's going to be interesting to see how LeBron plays in front of Cleveland and stuff like that. And let's transition to LeBron real quick. Because LeBron has said some things that really caught a lot of people, I don't say jaw dropping, but caught a lot of people, kind of like, showed like he's the Don in the NBA, if that makes sense. LeBron has made comments stating that whenever his son is draft eligible, whenever he comes into the league, that whoever happens to draft him, they'll get him as well. Now you're talking about a LeBron Jr., Bronny James, who's I think I'm trying to make sure I get the right. So he's class 2023. So he graduates high school next year. Where he going to school, I really couldn't tell you. It'd be real cool to see, Junior, go play college basketball somewhere. And, coming to pros, in 2024. But LeBron made the statement, saying, whoever drafts my son gets me as well. That's a lot of pressure for a team. Now, some of y'all probably saying, like, what do you mean by that? Because there's some good and there's some bad taking LeBron in the fold. What's the good? Well, you get once in a generational talent. Nobody's denying that. Nobody's excuse me 1 second. The silly old computer. Sorry. But real quickly, once in generation talent, a guy that can help your team out offensively and stuff like that. His defensive prowess is way past him in nowadays. But you get a name, you get, recognition, you get buzz, you get value to your team, all that good stuff. I think the bad for me for LeBron has always kind of been an issue I had with him, and an issue that he really kind of don't see it as bad for himself. And sometimes he don't let other people try and do the job they're supposed to do. Good or bad. I think it's at times in LeBron's career, the moves, personnel moves he's trying to do, and we kind of see reports, like Clutch is not happy with Rob Pelinka and all that stuff. That sometimes, and that Pelinka thing is kind of like a double-edged sword as well, because I didn't think he was the best option for the Lakers either. But the Lakers got more deep-seated issues than that. But, sometimes personnel move-wise, it hasn't really been the best of LeBron and Clutch, whatever you want to call it. For Adam asked earlier about Tristan Thompson. LeBron got Tristan Thompson a nice, close to $100 million deal for his time in Cleveland. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you, Tristan Thompson ain't worth $100 million like that. For what he does on the court, he's not worth $100 million, especially at that time either. $40 million, cool, but not for close to 100. No, sir. What Tristan brings to you, he's a 6'7", 6'8" center who can rebound very good for you. Can clean up down low. That's really about it. He's not He's not blocking shots. He's not, you know, changing the game defensively and stuff like that. He's not that type of dude. So, Adam, to ask you a question about, what Tristan Thompson getting for the Bulls. Like I said, you get that depth down low that you desperately need. You do. But I also think you kind of need somebody defensively down low to help. And I don't think Tristan Thompson's going to help the Bulls down low like that. Rebounding wise and stuff like that, battling down low, yeah, that would work great with them. But defensively, kind of like change the swing of things and stuff like that. Maybe your team is down and you need like a defensive jolt and stuff like that, get some positive momentum going. I think, he ain't going to be that guy like that. And he's not a scorer either. That's another thing, too. Because after Vooch, you got no scorer behind him. And Thompson ain't that scorer like that. Now, you can play Vooch and Thompson together. For some of you Bull fans out there, they can play together. You just have Thompson at 5, have Vooch at the 4, and Vooch can play outside and whatnot. So you can play them together, in a sense. But, for Thompson, I think good depth signing. So, to answer Adam, question Adam, before I get back to LeBron, I think he's a good depth signing. Back to LeBron. I think the moves with the Lakers and Cavs has kind of helped deter him winning more championships in his career. Because I think, let's be honest with y'all, Miami is probably the best situation for LeBron. You have structure there from the owner. You have structure right under him. Coaching staff, all that stuff. I think that Miami Heat system with Pat Riley and crew was best for him. And, they won 2 titles out of it. They went to 4 straight finals. I think that's Miami system is best for him. How things would have shaken out if he stayed there, who knows? Tough to say. And let me get back to what Adam said. If you're junior, do you want to play on the same team as your dad? A lot of pressure on you too, and then some. Yeah, that's a very valid question, Adam. Do you want your dad there at your corner? Do you want to carve your own path? Do you want to be your own man and do your thing? That's a very, very valid question you asked there. Because how can you be your own man if your dad is right there by you? How you going to forge your own path, in life if your dad's right there? And excuse the sirens and stuff like that. I don't know what the hell's going on. So excuse if you hear sirens and stuff like that. But if you're a young man like that, I want to forge my own path. And that's something that, I think that's something for him and his son really got discussed. It's like, I was born into this, in a sense. If I'm Junior. I was born to this in this saying, in a sense like, Dad, yeah, it'd be cool and all to play with you, but I want to forge my own path. I want to do my own thing. You know, if I get drafted by the Knicks, Magic, you know, Pacers, Thunder, whoever, I want to forge my own path. I don't need you by my side. I mean, it's great and all that LeBron will be involved in his kid's life. As y'all know, LeBron didn't has that in his own life, and I think this is his way to kind of think to be involved in his kid's life like this. I get it. But LeBron got to let the kid forge his own path. I know you have got things lined up for this kid ever since he touched the basketball up to this point. You know, I really don't know. But I think, I'll be a parent here by first week of April. And, for my little girl, I'm going to guide her where I want her to do in life. And then at a certain point, she got, golf to, go off for her own and do her own thing. She needs advice, I'll advise her. But, the time she comes out to the time, 18, when she at that crossroad to do whatever, I think, me and my wife will have a great plan for her to do her thing, wherever she might do. And I think that's something like LeBron and his wife Savannah got to recognize. We did everything great for Bronny. He has had the best. He has had access to everything that you and myself never had in life. But I think we did a great job to let our son forge his own path. If he's going to try and make it in the NBA on his own, you got them tools, got him the tools there. Let him do it. Before I go, it kind of goes back. I think last year that Gilbert Arenas talked about, because he talked about LeBron, send him like some film on his son and kind of like some outside eyes, and Gilbert discussed he told LeBron, yeah, he plays like you and stuff like that. He's real, he's really like you, like a miniature you in a sense. But I think one thing that kind of set LeBron apart, and where LeBron was at that stage of his life, that hunger. And what I just talked about, what LeBron and Savannah's upbringing was, and not having access to a lot of stuff compared to what their children have now. What their children have now. Bronny, Bryce, and the little girl. They got access to a lot of things. They got opportunities to do a lot of things. They get that generational wealth passed down and all that sort. So I just close on this though. Would it be great to see father and son play together? Cool. But I hope LeBron recognizes that, you gotta let his son do his own thing. And if you raised him correctly, gave him all the tools, let's see what the kid got. Who cares about the Skip Baylesses of the world, Who cares about the Stephen A. Smiths of the world? Hell, who cares about the Davidson Crooks of the world? If Bronny can come in and do his thing, that'll be great to see. Because kids who have parents who are like generational talent really don't succeed like that. And we'll see. Well, besides maybe Ken Griffey, but we'll see. And we'll see what the young man can do on his own by 2024. This has been our show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in with us. Like I said, D-Lock is at a track meet down in Birmingham, Alabama. And, you know, we were talking earlier, he said they had practice tonight and stuff like that, getting preparation for the track meet come tomorrow morning at UAB. So shout out to the Georgia State Panthers, and I hope they kick butt tomorrow. But this has been our show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in with us here on IE Sports Radio. Do check out the website, iesportsradio.com. I'm trying to make this quick before I head out. Check out the website. Check out the gift shop. Check out all the shows that are on the network. We're trying to get all 32 major NFL markets and get y'all ready and geared up come football season. You got a radio show for every city for y'all. Also, do check me out on Twitter at Spawn4288. Do check out the show's website page at Fastbreak at ISR. Also, check out Mr. Dentarius Locke's Twitter page at BlackJazz813. That is Black-813. So do please give him a follow as well. But till then, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back next week. NBA season, we kick back into gear. Also, buyout season as well for the NBA. Also, college basketball kind of winding down and talk about getting that tournament talk time. So till then, ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.